Like that. What's going on, guys? It's DJ TLM. You're watching DJ TLM TV. I'm working on some new music right now, some sketches that I'm going to use for some new tutorial videos and some Saturday sessions videos. But I wanted to take this time out to talk to you about DJ names real quick and how to come up with your DJ name. This is something that every DJ has to go through sooner or later. You might just be practicing at home right now, but at a certain point, you're going to take it to that next level. Probably you're going to take it to that next level and step out the house and start playing at parties. It could be just house parties or parties at school or at local bars, but it could also be clubs, festivals, whatever the case may be. You're going to need a DJ name. Your DJ name is the name that represents you when you're DJing. That's the name that's going to be on flyers, on posters. It's going to be represented online. So you're going to have to think of a name. Now, your DJ name, it's hard for me to decide what your DJ name should be. I get this question a lot, like if people want me to give them suggestions. I can't really do that, but I want to give you a couple of pointers that might help you out. So first of all, I'm horrible when it comes to thinking of names. I had to think of a lot of names when I was organizing a lot of parties. And when you organize a party, you have to give that party a name. What I would do when it came to events, I would try to pick something that is relevant and, if possible, something that really relates to what's going to happen at that party. So I would look at song titles of songs that were hits at that time. Because if people see one of those names and they see a title of a song that they're familiar with, they already have an immediate recognition. They think of the song in their head because it's a hit. They probably all know the song. And that song is going to give them an idea of what's going on at that party. That worked fine for events. It's a corny way, but it worked fine for events. When it comes to your DJ name, it's going to be a little bit different. First of all, if you would pick something that is relevant today, it might not be relevant in a year or two. And if you haven't broken through as a DJ by that time and people don't know you yet, and you have a name that reflects on something that is old, that might not be a good thing. So when it comes to a DJ name, what I suggest you could do or should do is make sure that you keep it personal. Pick a name that really represents you, either as a person or as a DJ or both. It should reflect on your style, on your personality, and that also makes it more natural to use that name. For me, TLM stands for The Last Mohican, and I chose that name because my parents saw an early version, or maybe the first version, of the movie The Last of the Mohicans, and one of the Mohicans is called Uncas, and that's the name that they gave me. So my name, my real name, my government name comes from The Last of the Mohicans. And I kind of like that, and I decided to be The Last Mohican. So it made perfect sense to me because it is something that really relates to me. My name comes from that. So I am one of those Mohicans. And I like the way it sounded, The Last Mohican. Now, I did hear a couple of times that people started to ask me if I was also Native American, if I had Native American blood because I called myself a Mohican. No, I'm not Native American, even though I'm probably 1/8. I have a great grandma who is, but that's beside the point. I did not choose that name because I wanted to represent the Native American side of me or whatever. I just chose that name because that's where my real name comes from, and I like the sound The Last Mohican. I did decide to shorten it to TLM because I like that even better as a DJ, and I like that on flyers and on mixtapes, so that's what I chose. Now, of course, if you see TLM, it doesn't mean anything. If you've never heard the name before, TLM doesn't stand for anything if you just see those 3 letters, so it's not a strong name in that sense. But at the end of the day, if you choose a name and you stick to it, after a while, people will start to have a certain idea when they see that name because they now relate that name to me. At least here they do. I've been using that name for 20 years. So now if they see TLM, they have a definite idea of what it is. So it made sense to me, even though it might not make perfect sense to the audience, to the people. But keeping it personal is always a good thing, but also try to not pick something that's not you. So don't call yourself DJ Scratch Fast if you don't scratch. Because if people see the name DJ Scratch Fast, they're going to assume that you're a scratch DJ, or they're going to expect you to be a scratch DJ. Don't call yourself Perfect Mix if your mixes aren't that good. I mean, if you call yourself Perfect Mix, I expect to go to a club and hear someone give me some of the best mixes I've ever heard. So certain names will come with a certain level of expectation from people. So keep that in mind as well. What some people do to keep it totally personal is just use their own name. Their actual government name is also their DJ name. And that's a good possibility because that name represents you because it is you, but you have to feel comfortable with that. On one of the first flyers, or maybe the first flyer that was ever made that had me on it, they didn't ask me for my DJ name. So when I saw the flyer, it had my actual government name on it, and they just put DJ in front of it. I absolutely hated that. I mean, I like my name, but I didn't like it as DJ. And I didn't want to see that on flyers. So for me, it did not feel comfortable at all. So for me, it didn't work. For some DJs, it works just fine. So that is an option. Another option might be that you have a nickname. So not your government name, not your actual name, but the name that your friends gave you or what your friends call you. So that way it is very personal, but it's not your actual name. So that could be a good option as well. So just keep those things in mind. Maybe try to keep it personal, something that relates to you as a person or definitely you as a DJ. It reflects on what you do, your style. Don't choose something that is relevant today but might not be relevant tomorrow. And don't choose a name that stands for something that you cannot deliver. I hope that helps you out. That's all the tips and pointers I can give you right now. If you have any good suggestions for other people who still have to think of a name, leave it in the comments section. Let's help each other out and share that knowledge as well. So you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you have any more questions, you know where to find me, DJTLM TV at DJTLM.com, and I'll be back very soon with another video. Salute.